George Clooney, the man known worldwide for his charm, his films, and his humanitarian work, has always been fiercely protective of his private life. For years, fans have seen the glamorous red carpets, the iconic roles, and the powerful speeches. But behind the scenes, something darker and far more personal was unfolding. For months, rumors swirled that Clooney's health was in decline. Tabloids speculated, sources whispered, and fans worried, but no one could confirm the truth. Until now, Amal Clooney, in an emotional and raw confession, has finally revealed George's final diagnosis, something the couple had shielded from the world. It wasn't on a stage, nor in a formal press release. Amal, always composed and private, could no longer contain the weight of secrecy. With tears in her eyes, she confirmed what the world feared: George has been battling a condition so severe that it shook their family to its very core. Amal described the countless nights in hospital rooms, the moments of uncertainty, and the unbearable fear of losing the man she calls not just her husband but her soulmate. She admitted that the hardest part wasn't the medical diagnosis itself, it was carrying the secret, protecting George's dignity while enduring the emotional toll of watching him fight day by day. For their children, the Clooneys did everything they could to keep life normal. But how do you maintain normalcy when the patriarch of the family is facing a devastating illness? Amal shared that she and George worked tirelessly to shield their twins from the harsh reality, creating laughter where there was fear, stories where there was silence, and hope where there was despair. Behind closed doors, though, the struggle was immense. George endured treatments, setbacks, and moments of fragile hope. Amal, balancing her high-profile legal work and motherhood, found herself becoming both caregiver and protector, carrying the family through the storm while silently breaking inside. When the news finally broke, Hollywood was left in shock. Friends, colleagues, and fellow actors expressed their heartbreak at the revelation. The man who had always been seen as larger than life, who carried himself with unmatched charisma, was suddenly revealed to be human, vulnerable, fragile, and in need of prayers. But even in the middle of his darkest hours, George Clooney's courage stood out. Amal revealed how George refused to let despair take over, insisting on moments of joy, laughter, and gratitude. He continued to support causes close to his heart, showing the world that illness could weaken the body, but not the spirit. Many have asked, why did the Clooneys keep this from the world? Amal answered that too. She explained that George never wanted pity, never wanted headlines focused on his pain. He wanted to be remembered as an actor, a husband, a father, and a man who stood for justice, not as a patient defined by illness. The decision to keep it private was not about shame, but about love. George wanted to live fully, without constant reminders of his condition. Amal respected his wishes, standing by him even when the silence became almost unbearable. At the center of this heartbreaking story is not just George Clooney's health, but the unshakable bond between George and Amal. Their love story, admired around the globe, has now become a tale of resilience and devotion. Amal said that watching George fight gave her strength, and George confessed that Amal's unwavering support was his anchor in the storm. Their relationship is proof that true love is not about red carpets or headlines, it's about holding each other when the world feels like it's falling apart. Amal's words were filled with emotion as she said, "George gave me the kind of love I never dreamed I would have, and I refuse to let fear take that away." While Amal did not go into every medical detail, she confirmed that the diagnosis was far more serious than the public had ever imagined. George's condition, described as both chronic and life-threatening, has forced the family to prepare for a future that may look very different from what they once envisioned. Still, she emphasized that George has not given up. He is undergoing treatment, fighting with every ounce of strength, and clinging to the life he built with Amal and their children. Amal's revelation was not a surrender, it was a call for understanding, compassion, and love. So, what comes next for George Clooney and his family? Amal has made it clear, the journey is far from over. There will be more hospital visits, more treatments, more days of uncertainty. But there will also be love, hope, and resilience. George may have been given a final diagnosis, but in his eyes, the story isn't finished. Amal's revelation has opened the door for healing, not just within their family, but among fans who now see the true depth of the man they admire. This story is more than just a headline. It is a reminder that even the brightest stars face darkness. George Clooney, once untouchable in the public imagination, is now revealed as human, brave, vulnerable, and deeply loved. If this story touched you, don't leave without clicking the subscribe button and turning on the notification bell. This channel will continue to bring you the latest updates, the truths behind the headlines, and the stories that truly matter. Share your thoughts in the comments, send your love to George and Amal.